right. So I still haven't watched X-Men 97 yet, so I don't even know if this is the same Cable from the original cartoon. I think it might be, but I'm still going through the original X-Men series first, because even as a kid, I only watched certain episodes. I never watched it through. Like, I vaguely remember certain episodes. Like, I always remember the first episode. I remember Morph getting killed. I vaguely remember the Phoenix Saga. I vaguely remember seeing Mr. Sinister, and that's about it. I've never seen it straight through to the last season, so I want to make sure I'm refreshed. But I do believe Cable does show up in the original, and it might be the same, I think. So there goes Cable. So I'm happy that if I would have just got this Cable, if I could never get this Cable, I'd be satisfied, because I do have the other Cable that came out. And I guess that Cable is from Marvel vs. Capcom, I guess. That's what I heard from a lot of people. I didn't know that. I have it away, so I can't compare it. But some people were complaining, saying that the shoulder pads were hindering movement, but I don't think so. Look, like, I'm moving it, and he's kind of fine there. It's not really hindering anything. He doesn't have any butterfly joints. He does have an ab crunch, right? So you got that, a lot of movement with the abs, and then he has the turn at the waist, but he doesn't have the fold at the waist. He doesn't have the ab crunch. He just have I'll say the ab swirl, and then of course the double jointed elbows. You see there, you know, this boy is thick, so you gotta be careful. And he does look like he just jumped out of the cartoon, the way they detailed it and drew it. But got the double leg. Doesn't go all the way up because he is kind of thick, and his boot is kind of thick too. And unlike the other Cables, and that's why you could tell this is a throwback to the cartoon, because I'm starting to remember his eyes. I don't know if his eyes glowed as well, but I don't think so. I think it looks like it's paint on his eye above and below. So you can see his face right there. He has his, I guess, his communicator, and then obviously his metal arm, but it's not like his whole arm. Then he has his X. And I don't know if this is, I gotta look back at some of my covers that I have with Cable, just to see if he wore this costume, or this is just specifically for the cartoon. So he does come with 2 trigger hands for left and right. And let's take out his gun. I do have a, what do you call it? I do have like a Cable statue from Marvel, what do you call it? Marvel Select. So I do have a Marvel Select Cable that I picked up at like a old school toy shop, and I think he always has the same guns that look like this, and it is dope though. Damn, I might have to have him fighting the aliens too. So these are some beefy guns. It would be so dope if they were articulated and it was like pump action and all that. And then you see his, I guess, handgun. Get it over here too. All right. And of course, it would have been better if, you know, I wish they would have came out with like original blast effects instead of kind of like, nah, we're just gonna save money and, you know, reuse the same blast effects we always use. So these are like interchangeable. You could use them on the bottom of someone's feet to fly, or you could use them as has regular blast effects. So bam, you fit right in there. The hole is big enough for it. That's the only thing I don't like about these, because sometimes they warp and they kind of curve, so sometimes it looks kind of silly. I don't know if there's a way that you could, like, I don't know, petrify it. But that's the only thing that kind of sucks about it. But you got that there, and then got the other one right there. It would have been kind of dope if he came with like a different head sculpt, like maybe like a yelling head sculpt, but this has the one. But I'm pretty sure you can swap out any other cable heads if you wanted to. Not that I would do that. So let's take out one of the hands fell. So let me just, I don't know why, I guess because I'm right-handed, I always put the rifle in the right hand. So, oh, you know what? Let's see. I'll put them in a traditional holding the rifle pose. Oh, come on. I would like to get a Josh Brolin cable though. That would be dope. I hope they come out with another what's that, Legacy series from Deadpool and release they might have, I think they did, but the aftermarket is too much. I was happy to get the Colossus, and I was able to get what's her name again? Domino, but to get the Negasonic Teenager on the aftermarket, I don't know if she's expensive or not. But anyway, got him just posed up, even though he's shooting, he's looking crazy. What I like about the G.I. Joe figures, and that's why I'm like, man, people are lucky that they're collecting them. They're more articulable than these. Like, you can actually have them posed up, like holding the rifle correctly. Like, you can get them that way with these, but it's very hard because they don't really articulate too much. Like, I wish they cut in the butterfly joints more towards the middle of the chest, so that way the arms could come in more, because that's what's hindering these figures from getting real good dynamic poses, in my opinion. I think that's what's hindering it. Not necessarily making it like a rubber chest like the Hulk, where you could get him to do the clap, because I don't even think they had to do that. They probably could have done a bigger cut and gave him a longer butterfly joint, but make it kind of blend in with the chest. But that way the arms could really cross each other, and that way you could get dynamic poses. Because sometimes I want to just have them like shooting the rifle in front of them, and it's kind of difficult. Like, you see, like his arm just stops right there, but I can kind of get it to where I want it like that, but it's not going to be 100%. Like, it'll look nice, but not realistic, you know? And we will have this. Okay, so I see where they're saying the padding is hindering, because I just try to get his arm up, but the pad is kind of in the way. You know what they should do, I was thinking? Because on the Maximum Spider-Man, you can, like, I call it dislocating his leg, where it comes down. I know you guys know what I'm probably talking about, where it comes down and then you could get into more dynamic poses. They should do that with these type of arms if you have like these pads in the way. Make it where you could kind of like pop it out a little bit out, and that way you can kind of like get the poses that you want, because it looks like he's just gonna have to shoot to the side unless you could force it, but I feel like that's gonna ruin the padding. So I might have to like have him up like this with this gun, or just kind of like shooting off to the side or something like that, or, you know, maybe have him looking this way, shooting, and like holding the rifle or hose rifle, whatever it is, like up like this, and have him shooting like this way. So I might have to have him like that. Let me see. His head range is okay. He looks down about that much. Looks up a little bit, but that's good enough. Looking up, and then you know he has the head tilt. Always forget to show you guys that. But overall, excellent figure. Go get it if you haven't. It's been real fun. I regret not jumping on this when they first came out, the X-Men 97, so I'm catching up. And I'm still, the only Magneto I was able to get was this one, which I know people hate. But I figured let me get it now, since I don't even know why he's in this type of outfit, since I haven't watched it yet. But hopefully I could come across a Magneto at a decent price. I'm surprised that they kind of like re-released Rogue and Wolverine. But of course Wolverine was easy to find because there's so many Wolverines. There was Rogue that was constantly sold out. And I didn't find the Rogue until I went to a convention in August, and I just bought her. So, oh, and I don't have the Storm with the Mohawk. I have like an original Storm that I bought from Uncanny X-Men, but if I see that Storm in passing and it's a decent price, I might just pick it up. I didn't get the original Jubilee, but I got this Jubilee that's coming in tomorrow, which is fine. That's my Jubilee. So I'm kind of close to completing my X-Men team, which I'm happy about. But anyway, further ado, really excited to crack him out. Let's crack out this Dr. Doom. All right, so let me break it down what really comes in it. We have the glowing swirl magic effects, which comes with like so many characters, so that's always interchangeable. Here we do have a trigger hands. It's kind of blurry. Let me see. You can kind of get the gist of it. And kind of like a palm open hand, like come to me type of hand, or a sinister open hand, or whatever you want to call it, or kind of trying to grab hands. And then you have Marvel Hasbro's favorite, Blast Effects. It just doesn't have the ring around it, the blast on the side. I don't know if this goes, I don't know if this is for his gun or for his feet. I don't know if Dr. Doom flies. I'm gonna really have to look into Dr. Doom because he comes with this book. What is it? I can't even read it. I can't even tell what it says. I'm sure they'll make reference to it in the movie. But we got this book. It looks like a number, like a backwards 6, but I don't know. You guys know? Can you please let me know what that means? So we got that book. And then we have this book that looks like it belongs to Doctor Strange. I forgot. I don't know if this is the book from Multiverse of Madness. I forgot what the book was called, but it looks like it has the same writing inside of it. It actually might be the books from that movie, so because it has the symbol in the front. So you got that, and then you got this. I don't even know what this is. Idea what this is. First I thought it was a lock, but I'm gonna have to go on Google and Google this little stupid little tiny piece. And I have no idea what that is, so I'm gonna have to Google what that is. And last but not least, the universe itself. I feel bad if somebody didn't get this in 2020 and they paid an aftermarket and this to re-release this 5 years later. And me, I'm thinking like, oh, they're releasing a brand new. I'm like, then they're releasing 2 Dunes, and this is a re-release from 5 years ago. But the figure still looks awesome. All right, so of course, so it looks like the cape. The cape looks like it could be removable. Yeah, I guess the hood is separate. It's the same kind of like plasticky feel as the cape, but this is kind of like I like this. This is like material. This part right here, and it's fabric, but the rest is plastic. It looks nice. The way they painted it makes it look. I thought it was like fabric, but it's not. So I really like the detail of this toy. Man, this is awesome. I really like the paint application that they did. Now I'm gonna have to look for that other Dr. Doom 2-pack to see how it looks. But I really like the way this figure looks. I really like the way the face looks too. Let's get a good look. So I like the details in the belt. I like the details in the arm and the armor. So that's pretty awesome. At the back, the cape. Like the chain right here, whatever you call this. And then you do have his sidearm right there, where I think it's kind of like funny that he actually has a gun. And let's see. Okay, you can actually unclip it. And he has like this old school 1940s gun from like Germany. So he has that. I forgot what you call this gun. But I guess those blast effects definitely don't go for this gun. So let's see if he's definitely double jointed. Nice. Double jointed. Let's see how much he doesn't look up too much, I guess, because of this. You know what I was thinking? I might experiment later and post a picture of it, but I'm gonna Google this first because I don't want to break it. I'm gonna see if you could take that. I'm pretty sure you could take the head off, but I was thinking of putting one of the Iron Man's Tony Stark heads on this. That would be dope, and then put the hood on to have just to have fun with it. To have a Doomsday Robert Downey Jr. So I might try that, but first I want to see somebody else take it off before I break it. But we have that, and you could kind of still get the double jointed knee, even though like the skirt is in the way. Or I call it a skirt. I don't know what it is. And okay, now I see. So he does fly. So in the back, he has, I don't know, propulsion or whatever that is, jetpack. And then he does have that hole in the back because the cape is supposed to sit in it without moving it. But I notice all these capes that they release with these little pegs, they normally don't work. They never really sit in, and then because he has that jetpack in the back, it doesn't sit in properly. So I'm assuming that you'll probably take off the cape to like put in the blast effects of him like flying. So, and you guys know, they usually just fit right in, man. So you got those blast effects for flying. Take those off for now. And then obviously these hands also double for, so you can move the head left and right, but it's limited because of the cape is that hard plastic. And then of course the hand to be used for reading whatever this book is. You just have to get the hand right. That's the trouble I was having with Colossus from the Legacy series, because he comes with a book as well, and you don't want the book to constantly keep falling. Little pea shooter. That looks really small in his hands. Put one of these little glowing effects. You know what? Usually I put both of them on one hand, so the effect looks like more. I usually do that with my Johnny Storm for these movies. I gotta bust out my cartoon version of Fantastic Four, or the retro card back, because I have now, obviously if you've been following me, you know that I have the Fantastic Four She-Hulk, and I only took pictures with her with the MCU Fantastic Four, so I want her to take pictures with the Fantastic Four team she actually has to be with, or she should be with. Yeah, I'm trying to. These effects feel gooey for some reason. They normally don't, but. So I got him there with the pea shooter and powering up, or whatever he is. I gotta go back to my comic shop and I gotta pick up a Doom comic book. I gotta do my history on Doom to see what he's all about, because now I'm curious. I wanna do my homework before I go in, before Avengers Doomsday comes out. I still gotta read the Secret Wars that came out a couple of years ago, because I know Doom plays a big role, and I believe that's what the movie is being based off of, that Secret Wars comic book, the newer version. And just keep dropping stuff. And I figured, since I have this chair, I was like, you know what, let me see if I could get Dr. Doom in here. Like, I'm sure Dr. Doom could always use a good chair to sit in. Now, the only thing that sucks is that everything is plastic on him. So, let's see. Okay, I was able to slide that off. Yeah, that's the only thing that I worry about with these figures. Like, even like what I have Rose from the Spider-Man, is that you kind of try to get them to sit in vehicles or sit somewhere, and then like something's gonna happen to the integrity of their costume, because you're bending the plastic like crazy. But because of it, I guess he sits kind of better, but he's not as flush as I want him. I'm not gonna force him for now, but let's see. Oh, maybe I could put his head down, right? Like mysterious. I could probably, almost, only because the McFarlane toys are a little taller, but I could probably get away with it. But you kind of get the gist. You know, I could probably, you know what, I might actually play around with this chair and customize it to make it look darker and gritty for him. But yeah, can never go wrong, because especially when I had gotten that Dark Side from Justice League with that chair, I was like, oh man, that's awesome. They should release more. And I know they have that was it Sinestro or whatever it is coming out with that chair. I don't know too much about the characters. I didn't bother putting a pre-order for that, but that looks pretty dope. Well, all right, guys, that is my quick unboxing review and sharing with you guys my ideas for dioramas. I'll share with you guys when I get that Titan, what do you call it, Galactus and Jubilee in the mail. Do a quick review of that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do any of you guys have this Doomsday already? I know they're releasing a new Doomsday from another series which looks dope. Are you guys gonna get that, or are you guys good? And what about Cable? You guys picking up this Cable? Let me know in the comments. But thank you for hanging with me, and I'll see you in the next one. So please like and subscribe, share, and I'll see you on the next hunt. Be careful out there. Peace.